Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. And as you probably still know, as you might still know, it's still April. I kind of want to continue on the theme of talking about funny books. Last week, I talked about funny books that I read recently. And I also talked about funny books that I want to read on my TBR that I own. This video will be about funny books that I don't own and also funny books that aren't out yet. But it's about books that are coming out this year. Now, am I saying? I think maybe one of them is coming up last year, next year. But anyway, they're not out yet, and they're soon-ish coming out. Like, soon-ish, what's soon? But like, yeah, within like 1 year, and then closer in 1 year. So first, surprise, surprise, I'm gonna be talking about Scholarly Lessons number 14, Dead or Alive, which, to the best of my knowledge at least, will be the last one. Now, he did say that book number 9 also was the last one, and then he did a spin-off series. So probably never say never, but for the time being, it's gonna be the last one. And also between the first series and this series, he had a trilogy in between, so it's probably gonna be the last one for some years. I'm thinking, but like the Skulldugger Pleasant series, there's so much you can do with that world, so I'm thinking probably likely will get back to it somehow. But yeah, it comes out. This one I actually think maybe comes out in next year, next May maybe. But it has a title. So I'd say it has a cover. I don't think it's a cover, but it has a title, Dead or Alive. So yeah, it's Skuldugger Pleasant, and I've read more or less all that series, and all that series at least has one scene that'll make me laugh so much I'll lose my breath. So yeah, this one I'm banking that this one it's no problem. I know for sure that this one will make me laugh so much. Some of these are books that I haven't read anything by the author before, something like that. And then of course it's gonna be a bit more difficult. Yeah, sorry, just a little explanation. The washing machine is on in the background. It's soon finished and decided to just start the video. So that's the sound you're gonna hear for a few minutes. But it's finished now. So yeah, Skulldugger Pleasant, Dead or Alive. Lots of things gonna happen, and yeah, it's probably gonna be very, very, very funny. Let's say something else. I'm not gonna say anything about the plot because it's the last in the series and it's the last in the spin-off series, but it's the last in the series, so I'm gonna assume that stuff is gonna happen and stuff is gonna be resolved, and yeah. I'm also gonna assume to not expect to not to be very surprised, to not know what's going on, because that's how Derek Lanning does his last books in series in books. You can't expect anything. So yeah. Then we have A Nobleman's Guide to Shipwrecks and Scandal by Mackenzie Lee. This is the third book. I think this probably will be the final book in the Montague sibling series. First one being with Monty, second one being Felicia. I'm just gonna get so it's I'm back. So yeah, no Montague siblings. Yeah. So the first one is Monty. Second one is when Felicia. Isn't she called Felicia? Suddenly I'm blanking on her name, but anyway, yeah, the sister of Monty. And then this last one will be the Goblin, or the youngest brother. And I also kind of think he's a half brother, but yeah, anyway. And it's in the name Shipwrecks, and I really like Shipwrecks. I think that's very cool trope or like setting or trope idea. How do you define Shipwrecks? Is it a trope? Maybe it's not a trope. I really like that plot action. Anyway, you get what I'm thinking about. As of right now, this one's coming out in November. So sometime it's November this year, but yeah. Though again, we're still in Corona times, so who knows, maybe stuff will still be still moved later this year, might be, but the date as we know now is November. I think it's 22nd or something. It was supposed to come out last December and then this spring, and then it's been moved again. But yeah, so that one I'm very excited for. Very excited. And then the next one we have is 10 Truths and a Dare by Ashley Elson. It's a companion book to 10 Blind Dates, which came out 2 years ago now? Yeah, 2 years ago. That one I very much enjoyed. And yeah, so this one takes place around prom, and it's the main character's senior year, and it's, yeah, based around 10 Truths and a Dare. And based on the first book, which I really enjoyed, and yeah, it's quite funny now and then, I assume this one will also be funny. So yeah. And then we have a book that everyone's gonna be talking about from like now, because people started getting ARCs till probably a year from now. Well, at least this year. Can you guess? One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. So yeah, if you didn't know, this is Casey McQuiston's second book. It's this book. It's set in New York, and there's a time traveling element. Well, it's more like a time loop element. So one of the characters in the, let's say, love triangle, in the love interest in romance, is a lesbian from the 1970s. She's living in 1970s, like she has old style clothes, and she's kind of trapped in a subway in New York. So it's quite interesting. But people will go on and off, and I'm not sure if everyone can see her and talk to her, if it's just the love interest or the other love interest. But anyway, yeah, she meets her, and she finds out, oh, you're not contemporary. You're an older person. And so yeah, that's quite interesting. I've seen some people talk about it because of the Golden Arcs and saying how it's just as good as the first one, well, as their other book. That being, suddenly blanking out. Other book is called. It's a very famous book, came out a few years ago. Red, White, and Royal Blue. Yeah, that's their debut book, and this is their second book. And yeah, that's what I'm just so excited for. New York is also always very fun to read about. I love time loops and stuff like that. And yeah, cannot wait. Cannot wait. Highly anticipate it. Then we have It's Been a Pleasure, Nona Blake, which is an adult romance. It's about a 39-year-old who's always been like looking out for everyone else, and now she decides, okay, I'm going to be selfish and do like a me. I think it's kind of like a me year. She's gonna just focus more on herself. She's gonna get an orgasm, find love, stuff like that. And yeah, it seems fun and interesting. I just kind of found it when I was googling. I thought, yeah, you look interesting. So yeah, that one. And yeah, just warning. These last few books are books that I found just googling, so I don't really know anything about them. But from the plot, they seem interesting and nice, and I have an idea that might be fun. But I can't guarantee. Well, like, of course, I can't guarantee with any of them, but with the early ones, I have more sense, like, I have more expectation and more of a, yeah, more faith that they'll be funny. But yeah, so yeah, it's been a pleasure, Nona Blake. I'll, of course, link all this down below. Then The Summer Job by Lizzie Dent, which is about a 22-year-old woman in her 20s. She gets a summer job in Scotland. That's gotta be interesting. And summer Scotland, it just sounds nice and cozy and summery. Not summery. Scotland probably isn't that sunny during summer, or like sunny for place. But still, yeah, it's a book I definitely want to read. Scotland is a place I want to go. It's on my bucket list, and yeah. And last but not least, we have Dog Walking Agency by Kate McDougall. This is actually a memoir, so it's not a fiction as all the other books are. This is a memoir. It's coming out sometime this year. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. I think it's coming out this summer. Yeah, I'll link all the dates also down below. But yeah, this is about a 22-year-old who decides to start a dog walking agency in London. I really like dogs. I really like London. And yeah, so this just sounds like a fun read to read. And yeah, that's that really. I'll see you soon. If you have any books, if you have any thoughts on the books I talked about now, if you have any books that are coming soon in the next few months or during this year that you think will be very funny, please tell me down below. And bye.